There.
Today's June 9th, 2026, and we're about to start our committee. And I'm going to start with my far left with Mr. Ham.
Trevor Valines.
And Spencer Cole.
Frank Baptist.
Okay, we do have a quorum, thank you. Okay, we have our statement of our FOI, Ms. Will you speak to our FOI, please? Ms. Vice,
Did you want me to?
will you please
Okay.
read it and please
Yes.
call our roll for us, Ms. Vice?
Yes, ma'am, I can. I affirm that I have not engaged in any prohibited discussion, deliberation, or polling regarding any item on this meeting's agenda outside of a properly noticed and open meeting, in compliance with the Arkansas Freedom of Information Act as amended by Act 505 of 2025. Alderman Baptist?
You hear? Yes.
Alderman Brown?
Yes.
Alderwoman Spencer Cole?
Yes.
Alderman Slaughter?
Yes.
Alderman Valines?
Yes.
Alderman Ham?
Thank you. Okay, we have that done. Next on our agenda, we have approval for our minutes from our May 12th, 2026. We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next on our agenda is we're going to have an ordinance number 2026, and it's ordinance conditional use permit to allow an accessory building on a vacant property at 221 Clark Street. Do we have any questions from the council? If I want to explain what that is.
Council members, this is just a conditional use. The applicant initially wanted to come in with a rezoning. This property is right in the middle of the Ralph Bunch community. In our opinion, as a staff, we didn't feel that was appropriate to have a commercial zoning right in the middle. As a alternative, we offered to do a conditional use to allow a storage building on the vacant piece of property to allow her to store her job materials. She runs a pickle business. And it just allows her to store her materials there. There's not going to be any foot traffic as far as customers coming to this site. We just thought it'd be a good use to the property without resorting the property from having to go residential to commercial. We figured this was a good alternative. She has spoken with all of her neighbors and they seem to be in support of it, and it went through planning commission with unanimous approval.
The reason consideration was commercial because she runs a home business and she would be storing stuff there versus a commercial storage facility where people are renting space. And
Correct.
I just want to get a clarification
Yeah,
on it.
so the conditions that we are asking, recommended were basically no storing of food trucks or anything of that nature, of commercial nature, like a trailer. Everything is stored in the building itself, and that's why the conditional use is, because typically you cannot have a storage building on a vacant piece of property. You have to have a
Okay.
primary structure. So
Okay.
this is allow the accessory, and then no foot traffic by customers. It's all just herself and her business that goes in and out, pulling out materials as needed.
Thank you.
And I think she just said she just wanted to store her jar.
Store her stuff. Yeah.
Any other questions?
What kind of business did you say? You say pickle business?
It's called Sarge Pickles.
Sarge Pickles.
Mhm.
Cool.
Any other questions? Okay, next we have an ordinance that's to rezone a portion of a property at 1218 River Street from R2 to HI. We have any questions on this property? Okay. So do y'all have any questions for him on this property?
A lot of that's industrial down there anyway, isn't it, Jason?
Yeah, so there's 8 acres that was part of that original property that I bought. This is one little triangle. I didn't know it was R2 until I looked at maybe building on there. It's a little triangle, I mean, there's a house right next to my big building at 1218 in Brooks Grease Trap. So it's a triangle pie-shaped piece of property that is zoned residential that I want to basically make it match the rest of
The rest of it. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, next, we have an ordinance to rezone property at Dobbs Creek on Mountain View Road from R2 to R1. You have any questions? Jason?
Thank you. Council members, this one is being, if you remember last month, the council approved the annexation of Dobbs Creek with a zoning of R2 and also the ward assignment. The planning commission should also review zonings, and in this case, they reviewed the zoning and they felt R1 was going to be more appropriate, and the applicant's representative actually said R1 as well. So we're bringing this back to the council here to assign the zoning of R1. What R1 does, it makes it, instead of a 7,000 square foot minimum, it goes to 11,000 square foot minimum. So the lots have to be much larger than what they were presenting. And I believe the applicant's representative talked about it, probably dropped the number of homes probably down into the 160, 170 range versus 240, 250 range. Okay. And that's what this is for. And then I can explain the next ordinance when ready.
Any other questions on this?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, our next ordinance is to confirm zoning of property at Scott Salem and White Oak Drive to R2. Jason?
Again, this one, last month, the city council agreed to approve annexation of this property with an R2 zoning. This went to planning commission. They affirmed the R2 zoning. In this case, I don't believe another ordinance is required, so this would just be considered information only, since the annexation itself zoned the property as R2 and the planning commission affirmed the zoning as proper. Unless the mayor or city attorney require it, I figure this should just be information only at this point.
Any other questions?
I have a question, but also a comment. Jason, I just wanted to say thank you and staff for, I noticed on all these having the zoning and land use analysis, it seems to be a lot more in-depth than what we used to be getting. So I really do appreciate that information.
No problem.
Okay. Next on our agenda is an ordinance to amend the zoning code for multiple definitions, and this was staff asked to table until July. You have any comments on this, Mr. Jason?
Yes, thank you, Alderwoman. This is a conversation myself and the mayor have been working through, and also everybody, I believe, last week should have gotten an invitation for July 17th, that afternoon, to meet with and listen to a presentation by James Walden on new housing types. So what I'm adding in was definitions for a modular home, a tiny home community, tiny homes on wheels, and then a definition for truck stops. So knowing that we were having this informational meeting with James Walden from Garver and also with the Municipal League on the 17th, I feel it'd be appropriate. Let you review the definitions further, and then it can go to ordinance on the next meeting in July after this conversation.
Any further questions?
Yes.
Okay. We have nothing from the Public Utilities Commission, nothing from the A&P, and Historic District Commissions, there's nothing else. Do we have anything else from this committee? Okay, I'll adjourn this meeting. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. Next, we will start our community service meeting, and I will start with my far left with Mr. Ham. Yeah, fam.
Trevor Valance.
Thank you, sir.
Val Clark.
July.
Chad Clark.
And Spencer Cole.
Steve Brown.
Frank Baptist.
Okay, we have our recognition of our attendees. We did our FOI already. And we have no minutes to approve for our May 12th, 2026. And now we will do our new business for our liens on our code compliance for our 313 East North Street cleanup, 1222 Cherry cleanup, 708 Burton Street, and 1714 Huntley Road. Mr. Connor.
Good evening, how are y'all? My name's Tyler Ritchie. I'm with the Community Development and the Code Compliance Office. We have 4 properties that we're bringing forth this month that we're all wanting to send to council for next month. The first one's gonna be 313 East North. It was $220.88. This property is running from East Street to Lillian Street. We actually condemned that property in 2023 and the owner is deceased. There's no one to maintain the property. So we're mowing it once or twice a year. So this one, I'm just asking to send to council in July. The next one is going to be 1222 Cherry, and it is in between Border and Hoover Street, close to Angie Grant Elementary School. This is a repeat offender. We dealt with them last year. We filed a lien against them actually January of this year for the same thing. It is a vacant lot and needs to be mowed multiple times a year. This property was $220.88 also. The third property is 708 Burton Street. This property costs $470.88 to mow it. It is running off of River Street by Jackman. It is a vacant lot. We have not made any contact with the property owner, or had any return calls or information. The last one we have is going to be 1714 Huntley Road. It is in the Ralph Bunch area, I believe. The balance on that one is $470.88. This one, was also a repeat offender. We just cut the perimeter of it this time. It's 5 to 10 feet off of the property line. It's much cheaper that way to keep it off the road and keep it off the property owners and the neighbors.
Okay.
That's all we have. We're asking to send this to council for next month to file a lien. Any of y'all have any questions about them?
Council have any questions?
I've got a more of a procedural question,
Yes,
Madam
sir.
Chair. On the first property, Tyler, if I understood what you said correctly, it's a repeat offender, but the owner has passed.
Correct.
Is that correct?
That's
So
correct.
are there any heirs that we've been able to identify to be able to recover, and that's a leading question, and if not, then what's really the process ultimately for us to recover? At some point in time,
Recover our money.
could
Yes,
we?
sir. So 3 years ago now, whenever we went through the condemnation, we went through the process of trying to find any heirs or any living relatives that want anything to do with it. We contacted one nephew, or located one nephew that actually was in Benton, but he wanted nothing to do with it. He has two siblings. One is local and one was about 2.5 hours away, if I remember correctly. Neither one of them wanted nothing to do with it. So that's kind of where we are at on that process. No one wants nothing to do with it, so it's kind of fell on us to maintain it for the neighbors' sake. As far as getting our money back, the way it goes, 5 years, it'll go on the property taxes. So after 5 years, no payments, it will get filed back and it'll go to auction. Whenever somebody steps up to buy it, then we'll recoup our money.
Okay,
back.
that's what I was trying to
Yes,
understand,
sir.
what was
It'll
the
take 5
timing
years,
on it?
but we will
Thank
get
you.
it back.
So this is year 2 of the 5 years then?
It should be third year, including the year of condemnation. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Do we have any other questions for Mr. Tyler? What the chair holds a motion to carry this liens and codes compliance cleanup to council.
So moved.
Motion and in a second. Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? That motion carries. Next, we have a resolution, CLG Historic District RFQ Contract Award for Survey. Mr. Jason?
Thank you, Madam Alderwoman. This was actually was planned on going to council last month, but we were having to still maneuver around with a couple of these companies on this. The quotes that we got were well above the initial amount the state was giving us for this grant. Since then, we worked with Ian Montgomery at the state, and they gave us another $17,000 or $16,000, excuse me, for a total of $33,000 for this. We reviewed. We had two excellent candidates that were reviewed, and myself and Mandy, we chose to go with ELOS Environmental LLC, a group out of Hammond, Louisiana. They came in initially really very, very high. Working with the state, he said, well, they can cut this, this, and this. We went back to them, and they cut their contract down to fit at 22.5. What we are recommending is a max of 25K. That way, if there's a change order or they had to find additional property, maybe that cost would already be included. But they came in at 22.5. The secondary bid was roughly 26,000, but they also wanted us to do a lot of paperwork. Printing off, and we're like, well, that wasn't part of the grant in the scope. So we chose to go with ELOS, and look forward to getting them started if the council approves. And their packet and scope of work is within the packet if you'd like to read over it, and myself or Mandy would answer any questions you may have.
Jason, so I saw on the state's letter that they gave us, they were gonna give us $3,000, I think, it's $30,000, for the survey, and then $3,000 for the training, but that training is separate from this, right?
So we've also worked out with Ian where the additional monies can also be used towards training. So we're at 25 on the contract and there's roughly another $8,000 for training. With that money, our chairman for the ACC, Brett Chumley, is going, and then at the wishes of the state actually brought it forth and asked if I'd find a way for myself to go as well.
Actually, I suggested we send Jason so that he could be on top of the game, just like Brad. Just makes sense. If they're gonna give us free money to send someone, I'd like to have Jason. Well,
So,
So-
Mayor, are we making a motion to take this to, okay.
Yes. Should we,
Do we have any further questions on this?
so do we need to increase that to 30? Because the state did say that they were gonna pay 33,000 total. I know we're asking for 25,000 here, but the state says they're gonna give us total 33. Do we need to?
The budget amendment is correct because the budget amendment also includes the training. So the contract is the only thing that we're asking for to go to 25,000.
So I think what we're asking for is for the contract for the survey to be up to a maximum of 25,000. Correct.
Any further questions? Okay, will the chair make a motion for the resolution COG Historic District RFQ to go to council?
So move.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is the Resolution Community Development Online Permitting Software RFP Vendor Choice opening on 7/15/26.
Thank you, Madam. So this is something I've spoken with the mayor on, and he has allowed me to proceed forward with just doing RFPs for a new online permitting software. We have been currently with our current vendor for 18 years. The software is outdated. There's some integrations that I would like to see happen with this current software that's going to cost just as much as looking at a new vendor. I will say I have been pleasantly surprised with the number of vendors that have come out. I have sat through in the past 2 weeks, at least, let me see, 12 demos now of all the softwares, which I'm very impressed. I was expecting maybe 4 or 5, and we've gotten 12, and I still have more still reaching out prior to the proposal deadline, which is Monday morning. With that said, we open up the proposals on Monday morning. I'll be working with Mandy and my staff, going over every one of them and find the best one that we feel is best for the city. It's hard right now to give an overall price, but I'll be working through with Mandy and the mayor on finding what's going to work best and be the most efficient and what presents the best cost for the city at this time. For our current vendor, we are paying 28.8. I will just be open and honest. It's probably going to be more than that would be the request. But yes, in the budget. So I'm working through all that, and I will have the numbers for everybody by mid next week and present this at council on the 22nd.
Do you have any questions? For the chair holds a motion for the resolution for the community development online permitting software, RFP. We have a motion and second. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Do we have any old business? Do we have any discussion? Okay, you have your DRC monthly report made for review. If we have nothing else, I'll adjourn this meeting. Thank y'all so much.
All right, I will call the June Finance Committee meeting to order. We'll establish a quorum, starting with my far left with Alderman Ham.
Mandy Spicer.
Chad Slaughter.
Dan Switchell.
Steve Brown.
Frank Bath.
Thank you. Ms. Spicer, Alderman Lee wasn't here when we read the FOI earlier. Could you read and have him attest, please?
Yes, sir. I affirm that I have not engaged in any prohibited discussion, deliberation, or polling regarding any item on this meeting's agenda outside of a properly noticed and open meeting in compliance with the Arkansas Freedom of Information Act as amended by Act 505 of 2025. Alderman Lee? Thank you.
All right, next thing on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the May 12th meeting. Can I entertain a motion?
So moved.
Motion, is there a second? Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda is our friends from Utilities.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. For April, we had revenues over expenses, $391,000. There was no power cost adjustment for April. Electric and water both had revenues over expenses. Wastewater had expenses over revenue. We had capital expenses of $1.2 million. I can go into any detail you want or answer any questions.
Any questions on any of those things?
Also, it wasn't included in your packet, so I placed it there. It's kind of a recap of the power cost adjustment for the past year. And that, we calculate that every month. We've done very well in the market over this past year, so that shows that we've returned $324,000 to our customers.
That's fantastic.
For February, you can see, it would have been a lot better, but we had that week in February with Winter Storm Fern that really had a blowout there.
This is information you guys really need to share. I mean, if you could get some attention from our local news sources, that'd be fantastic. Any other data you guys want to share with us?
Yeah, one of the, again, and I think I've said this before, in 2024, we had the 6th lowest residential rates in the state. And that's in probably the 2nd lowest residential rates across the country. So our residents have some of the lowest residential electric rates in the whole country. So again, and I know if y'all are keeping up with news, with what's happening across, prices are steadily going up at others. And what we're doing right now successfully is trying to help maintain our rates where they're at for our citizens. So
That's
I
fantastic.
just wanted to point out, when we passed that last year with that power cost adjustment, to just show, hey, we are continuing to try our best to try to help the customers. And, like I said, over the past year, we've been able to give back that much back to our customers.
That's great.
Doing a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. Any questions from anyone? Anything else, gentlemen? All right, thank you for coming. Next thing on the agenda is a resolution to apply for Police Edward Byrne Grant. Chief Hodges is requesting authorization to make an application for grant funding through the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant Program for 2026. The purpose of this is to secure funds for the purchase of desks and chairs for the training room. And Chief, you submit these on an annual basis pretty regularly, correct?
That is correct, annually. It just depends on what we choose to use that purchase for. This year is a little different with the tables and chairs.
Any questions for the chief? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Next on the agenda, resolution to approve SRO, easy for me to say, contract with the Saline County Career Technical Campus. Chief, we did this last year. This is a renewal of that. Is that correct?
Actually, the last time we did it was in '22, and we had a 4-year contract that covered 5 years at that time. Due to the circumstances of it. This is actually a contract, but it's a 1-year extension to that contract. It works out better on their end to do an extension versus a whole new contract. So it is for 1 year, and it's for the school year 26, 27.
And we've got capacity to do that and all those good things. We got staff capacity to do that and all those
Yes,
things.
yes,
All
we
right.
have staff in place.
Any-
One SRO.
Any questions?
Yes. Chief, how many officers? Just one for this?
Yeah, for the CTC, we only supply one.
Okay.
Any other questions? Not entertain a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. Next on the agenda is a resolution to apply for a street grant. Streets and Drainage Director Ritchie, who is here, requests to apply for a grant through the Arkansas Hazard Mitigation Grant Program for a detention pond in the Western Woods subdivision. This grant will be a 75-25 grant with a maximum award of $300,000. Mr. Ritchie, you got any color you want to add to that?
Free money. Get it.
I'm assuming we've got issues over there, thus the need for the retention pond. Any questions from anyone?
What's the, grant amount?
The maximum you can get.
All right, any other questions? If not, I entertain a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, Mr. Ritchie. Next on the agenda is a resolution to apply for a PUC grant request. General Manager Todd Peterson requests to apply for a grant through the Arkansas Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, same group, for converting overhead feed to underground feed for 26 homes located between Rolling Brook Drive and Greenbrook Drive. This will also be a 75-25 grant with a maximum award of $300,000. Todd, got any color?
Again, we were made aware of this through our legal counsel of Tampa. And this was brought to our attention. In the traditional avenue of these funds are typically stormwater related issues, but it was made to aware of us that the potential of reducing the risk of during an ice storm or windstorms or other things, of being able to maintain electrical service to the facility could qualify. So we're doing a very small area. We've laid it out for 26 homes. The wires are actually in their backyard fed, so we will take them from overhead to underground. The estimated cost is about $100,000, so it's not the maximum amount. We're doing a small piece and introducing it to this organization and seeing if it's something that they would be interested in looking at potentially doing in the future. I did not find out that I had to do this through the city and literally until Monday. I came over, talked to Ms. Spicer, and then she said, well, let's go, because I did not want to hurt any other potential grants for the city if it's an issue. And they said, well, submit it because of their past history that they've been able to require multiple also. So this has to flow through the city, but once there any upfront costs or anything, we will make sure we address.
Only municipalities apply.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay.
But again, it is something that we are starting to evaluate as cost of labor is continuing to go up for tree trimming. Our cost of our trimming is continuing to escalate. So we're starting to evaluate the cost of taking overhead lines, putting them underground, because we're having to go back there every 5 years and trim that area. And as that cost continues to go up, looking at the payback, not only in the instance of payback of reducing costs, but also the payback of increasing reliability when we do have that major ice storm, the amount of, because at some point we're going to have one. Don't know when, hopefully I'll be gone by then, but when we do, just the reduction of customers out, plus the staff will have to pull back in to get customers back on.
One-time cost versus recurring cost.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is it.
Any other questions?
Is this something y'all will do in-house?
Yes, we will do it in-house, except for the portion that goes from the main to the meter. We we will contract through, electrician. We will put it out for bid. We'll get a electrician that will be willing to take it from overhead to underground and reconnect it to the meter base. Everything else we'll do in-house.
Any other questions? Not only entertain a motion to approve. Bunch of motions. Is there a second among those? There's a second. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Last thing on the agenda tonight is something we do every year. We vote on levying tax on all real and personal property in the city of Benton. The recommendation this year is to continue to levy the 2.8 mills that on the dollar on real and personal property for the city general fund, and 1 mills on the dollar designated for the fireman's pension and relief fund. This is not a change from the previous year. It's just a renewal of what we've done in the previous year.
Something we have to do
Every year, yep. Any comments or questions? Not entertain a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. And finally, Ms. Spicer, the financials for May of 2026.
Yes, thank you, Alderman Brown. You will open up your financials. You'll see the first thing is the sales and use tax for May of 2026. It came in at an increase of 2.15% over May of 25. Year to date, we are at a 5.4% increase for our sales tax, and that is for the full 2.5% that's received by the city. You'll open up the front page for the general fund. You'll notice that we had a relatively good month. We were $791,077.03 in the black for the month. One of the main contributors to that had to do with county taxes, because a lot of people pay their taxes in April, therefore we receive it in May. We receive it 30 days later from the county. And you will notice the financial stability accounts is at a healthy 2.2 million. And the very last number that you'll see on that front page, available unrestricted cash balance, you'll see we are roughly $400,000 ahead of where we were last year this time. So if you guys have any questions about the financials, feel free to seek me out, and I will go over them in great detail with you. But thank you.
Any questions? All right, with no questions being heard, I'll call this meeting adjourned. Thank you.
That's all we have tonight. Mike, please.